Good morning students, I am Purnima and I welcome you to my English class. Now student, I would like to continue with the same lesson, the comet 2. Now in this lesson students, we have taught you uh, about the comet 1, in which a man was there whose name was uh, Mr. Manoj Datta. He had three secret ambition in his heart. First was to find a uh, children. First it was he has to find out a um, comet. Actually this was his third wish. First wish was to have a telescope. Second wish was to pass maximum time with a star. Third wish was to find a comet, and that comet shouldn't have been seen or found by anybody else. So these were his three wishes. Now what happened, children? He was working in an office. Very soon he got retired and he got ample of money. Now when he got him ample of money, first thing what he did to fulfill his wish. What was his wish? His first wish was to buy a telescope. So he bought a telescope. His second wish was that he should have a pass his a lot of time with looking at the star. So now he is in retirement. His dad wish was also fulfilled. His third wish was that he should have see the comet. He should be the first man to find the comet. Now his third wish was also going to be fulfilled. He used to look throughout the night. He used to look, or late at night he used to look at the sky, until and finally he find a comet also. Now his wife was very religious minded lady, and children, one more thing which I would like to tell you, he has kept the name of his telescope Divya Chakshu. When he found out the comet, student, then children, this was reported to IIA. This was reported to IIA. Now when this was reported to IIA, they have kept the name of the telescope, Mr. Miss Datta. He had kept the name of his telescope, Divya Chakshu, and his wife has kept the name of the telescope Divya. Now children, she was jealous of that telescope because her husband used to have a lot of time passed. He used to pass lot of time with the telescope. Now children, they when IIA, Indian Institute of Astrophysics, when they came to know about his finding, they felt proud. In fact, they were having 90 inches telescope in which they were not able to find out the this comet. So first thing, they have complimented Mr. Datta by keeping the name of that comet Datta, because it was his finding. And finally children, as you can see, his last wish was also fulfilled. Now the comet Datta, children. Now children, the scenario is of Oxford University, in which children there are two persons are there, and the name of the two person are at the Cambridge University, Dr. James Forrest, okay, and Dr. John McArthurs. He was a defense science advisor to the British government. Now John handed him an article which James had written and sent for publication to Nature. It was a very important because James had forewarned that comet Datta would hit the earth and destroy it. The collision could be avoided if it got broken into pieces while coming near the sun, or it might collide with some other comet. The tragedy could occur in just 10 minutes. So it was decided to call an urgent meeting of experts to find out ways to save the earth. They had to do something to push the deadly comet out of the way out. So children, now children, here Mr. James Mac James Macpherson. Okay, what did he did? James Forrest. Sorry, children. James Forrest. He was a person. He had wrote. He calculated something, and he wrote in his paper that this comet Datta, after 10 months, it will come. It is coming towards the Earth with a great speed, and it is going to be. It is going to collide there. So, children, and then this he was called by in his office by James Macpherson, and he told him that it's good that you have published this type of paper, but one thing is there. And what is that thing? You should have not have written in the hard way, because if this paper will be published in the press, or if the people will read your paper, they will be in panic, because this is not a very good news that he had written that after 10-month time this comet Datta, it will collide with the earth and the people of earth will die. So he told me that when the people will read, it will be a panic for them. This will be not a good news for them. And finally, children, what happened? He had he told okay, and then children, he told he told that many others, if okay, he told if I will not publish my paper, or if I will write in a soft language, there might be many other scientists or astronomers who must have written it by now. So he told that they should not he told okay, whatever is you write it in a soft wording. And finally, children, they decided that. And finally, what happened? An international meeting was called. In that meeting, children, many people came there. Okay, and it was an international conference of astronomers and space scientists discuss the ways to prevent the comet from hitting the Earth. Children, the best thing was that Manoj Datta was also invited. The issue was kept secret from the press and the people, because they knew that the moment it will be told to press, they will be putting this news into the newspaper, and the whole world will come to know that a collision will be there between the comet Datta and Earth, and everybody will die. Well, children, so the best part was that in the meeting, it was because of children John Macpherson. Okay, Mr. Datta was also invited, and they become good friends also. Okay, because he was having a very friendly behavior, both of them, and both started liking each other. The experts suggested two ways to meet the challenge. The defensive measure was that the people should live in underground bunkers for safety, but it was not much practicable. The other course was to take offensive action. It meant that the comet should be given a push and made to change its path a little. This should be done by using nuclear explosion in space. Finally, a timetable was drawn for the operation. It was codenamed Project Light Brigade. On October 10, the spacecraft with nuclear material was to be sent. It would meet the comet on November 15 and try to destroy it. In case the experiment failed, the comet would hit the earth, and children, everybody will be perished. If it succeeded, this was the day the comet would pass by at a near but safe distance. Okay, so on December 15, it was expected that if their dream project will succeed, okay, this would be the day the comet would pass by at the near but safe distance. Sir John Macpherson told Datta that he would not buy any present for Christmas till 15 December. Datta returned home from England. He was welcomed warmly, but he was surprised to see some ceremony going on under a tent. So now children, let's start reading our textbook. Okay, I've revised all the important points of the lesson, and we were here children. I was telling you, finally the meeting was there, and in the meeting who were invited? uh, Children, Jack McPherson. Okay, Jack McPherson. He at first children, uh, he was a person who had invited many people, many efficient people like astronomers, computer scientists, nuclear physicists, space technologists, biotechnologists. So when children James Forrest, he saw the list, at first he was having doubt on the efficiency. When he saw the name of all this person, then children, his doubt was not there for children James McPherson, and he knew now that he is one of the most efficient person. Well children, the and Sir John, a special invitee, was the present, the man who had started it all. So it was who? It was Manoj Datta. Well, for the whole week the conference was there and went on under total cover of the secrecy. So it took him in a, it took it in a very total cover of secrecy was there. Now children, first thing what happened in the conference, all the person they have checked and they have rechecked the calculation of children John Sir, they have checked the calculation of Sir James Forrest. Okay, and finally they found that his calculation were quite all right. Okay, and the latest observation was comet Datta was there, that it is going to hit directly the earth. Okay, so there was a small chance that the comet may just graze the atmosphere of the earth and not collide. And children, few scientists, they have also told that there was a small chances that the comet may just graze an atmosphere of the earth and not collide. In that case, the loss of life and property would not be total. But this slight respite was hardly reassuring enough for taking no action. Now children, finally children, it was decided that either the people will go to the bunkers or a nuclear fission will be there. So finally children, it was decided the second one, because it was not a very practical thing that the people will be going and staying in the bunkers. So finally children, what was decided? It was decided by the expert. Okay, the expert calculated that the bulk of destructive nuclear power available on the earth would be needed to achieve the mammoth task. So they have decided that a very genetic nuclear explosion will be there. Okay, they were planning for that. And children, the nuclear missile will be there in the spaceship, and it would be sending it to intercept the approaching comet and detonating it by remote control. Success or failure, secrecy must be preserved. Finally, a timetable was drawn up for the operation, which was codenamed Project Light Brigade. So children, what was the name of that project? Dream project, Project Light Brigade. And children, finally the timetable was there. Now in that timetable children, it was shown that it was decided whether they would get success or not success. First of all, a secrecy should be maintained. It would be disclosed to no one. Now yesterday I told you children, I have written on the board also that timetable will be there. Okay, so the date was fixed. First date was October 10th. Okay, so in what was going to be there in that day, they would dispatch the spacecraft with the missile, unless by then the comet is already destroyed by natural causes or has changed its path due to unforeseen reasons. So he told you, first thing, they would dispatch the spacecraft with a missile on it. Okay, so by then, if the comet will be hitting the earth, okay, if it could have been destroyed by natural causes or has changed its path, then they will be lucky not to do that. Now children, then come the November, then in the timetable, November 15 was the date which decided for the rendezvous with the comet and detonation of the uh, payload. Payload is equipment or missile, and detonating is setting it off. Now we will come to December 15. Okay, December 15. If the experiment failed, this was the day the comet would hit the earth. If it succeeded, this was the day the comet would pass by at a near but safe distance. So the success of the experiment depended on how massive the comet was. Nobody could estimate, nobody hoped that it was not very massive. Do you think we will succeed? Datta asked Sir John Macpherson for his opinion. During the work, the two had developed considerable affinity for each other. Affinity, children, is a affinity means friendship. Okay. Now, children, when Mr. Datta asked, okay, John Macpherson, they will get success. So what did he reply? Mr. Datta, I will give you an honest answer. I am not buying any Christmas present till December 15. That means we don't know whether they will get success or not success. He had told this thing with the indirect language. Well, children, after that, Datta stayed there. He toured to British Isles for 2 weeks after the conference, and he had a pleasant time visiting observatories and exchanging views with amateur as well as professional astronomers. On his return, he was greeted by the inevitable vast crowd of friends, social leaders, students, and the usual hangers-on, loaded with garland and bombarded by questions from the press. He somehow made his way to the waiting car. So, children, now I am going to start with the second portion of children, this chapter, the Comet 2, and here we go. Now, children, Datta finally from England, he returns to India. Okay, from England he returns to India. Arriving home, he found another crowd gathered under a pandal. And children, when he came home, he saw a lot of massive crowd was there. A pandal was there. What is a pandal? A tent and everything was there. And he glanced questioningly at Indrani Devi. Now, children, when he came there, he saw his wife was sitting there. He questioned questioningly. He glared questioningly. When he glared means he wanted to know what is going on. Surely she knew how he hated crowd. Now, children, she knew that her husband did not like crowds, and lot of crowds she has gathered. Indrani, obviously uneasy, offered the explanation. I have arranged a yajna and called priest to bless you. Now, children, why she has called priest to bless him? Because it was the time, student, when it was the time when children, people, when they go abroad, it was not considered good that they were going across the sea. And children, so she was performing puja for her husband, that he had returned safe. So she told him that I have arranged a yajna and called priest to bless you. But why? Just because I left the shores of India, it is no longer taboo. Taboo, that means something not permitted for religious, social and cultural reason. It is no longer taboo. Taboo, children believe something not permitted for religion, social, culture and reasons. And in any case, my views on these meaningless ritual. And he told me, and the second thing, I don't have faith in this ritual. Well, Indrani Devi looked at Sivaji Babu, the younger brother of her husband. Now, children, she looked when he started arguing that I don't like all this thing, I don't believe in this superstition. So she started looking at Sivaji. Sivaji was the younger brother of her husband. Sivaji Babu coughed and explained, "We have all been very disturbed since you discovered the comet." He told, we were very much disturbed when you have discovered the comet. Guruji recommended a Shanti Yajna to pacify the evil spirit behind the comet. We are all waiting for you to perform the Yajna. So he is telling it was the suggestion of the Guru, okay, that we were all waiting for that. That we were all waiting for this puja, and you have discovered the comet, and it was Guruji who recommended a Shanti Yajna to pacify the evil spirit behind the comet. We are all waiting for you to perform the Yajna. May I know what specific advantage there is in this ceremony? Dattada was outwardly calm. He told, the comet you have discovered will not cause any ill effects on the earth. At this remark, Dattada blew up. Don't you know that this is all superstition? It could be condoned in the olden times when man did not know what comets were. So Dattada told me, this is full of superstitious things which you are telling. Okay, this is not common in the modern times. In the olden time or in the modern times when man did not know what comet were, children, he told this was believed when people were believed in lot of superstition things. Now everybody know that what is a comet. It is a scientific fact. Okay, it's not something related with demon or superstitious thing. Not so in modern times, cause comets are known for what they are, their movement and forecast precisely by mathematical calculation. Now children, now nobody believe that comet is not a good thing. It brings ill luck to earth as earlier the people used to believe. So he is telling me now people know that comets are known for what they are. Their movements are forecast precisely by mathematical calculation. And he is telling me now, children, that's comet, we will come to know about its movement, about its everything through mathematical calculation. And it is clearly established by statistical studies that their visits have no correlation with disasters on earth. Children, one thing let me tell you, in India at that time, children, what was there in India, it was there, a belief was there that when comet is there on earth, it always bring ill luck. It always bring ill luck to them. So this was the belief. Now children, he is telling me now people don't have belief with such type of belief is there with the people, that it is not connected with any ill luck and any disaster on the earth. All this is of course futile on my part to explain. Futile is, children, useless or in vain. So what is the meaning of futile? Futile is useless or in vain. Okay, so futile means useless or in vain. Now, you and the likes of you never read even the extremely books on science and children. So this is of course futile on my part to explain. So he is telling it is, but if to you it is useless to explain you, because you are a person who always believe in superstitious. And the likes of you never read even the elementary books on science. And children, he told you that although you are not a science student, but you must have read elementary books of science, but then also it is useless to explain to you. Shivaji Babu gently interjected, but our wise forefathers recommended such yajna. So his brother objected. He told him, but our children, forefathers, they have recommended this yajna, and that's why we are doing it. Since his return from London, Dattada was in a regular correspondence with Sir John Macpherson. Now, children, when Dattada returned from London, he was in constantly touch with Sir John Macpherson. Their friendship had grown out of their appreciation of each other's virtues. And why this fact, their friendship has grown? Because children, Dattada, children, he was, though he was not a very great scientist, and not even a scientist, not even an astronomer, but children, he was a very good human being. Children, did you remember that Mr. Manoj Datta was known by the name of Dattada? Why? There were so many people, but nobody had kept the name like that. Because he was a very good human being. Lot of virtue, with full of characters and virtue he was. And children, this virtue was admired by one of the greatest rank holder of the British officer, and that was John Macpherson, Jack Macpherson. So he started lying. Dattada, all of a sudden he started lying. Why he started lying? Started liking him because children, he was admired that he is a good person with lot of virtue. And since then they have become a great friends, and finally children, their friendship was enhancing day by day. Sir John admired Dattada's scientific outlook, while the latter admired the former's discipline and efficiency. Okay, now children, John Macpherson, he admired his scientific outlook. Though he was not a good scientist, not a great astronomer, but he was a man with lot of scientific view. He was the man with lot of scientific view. So this was admired by John Macpherson. Okay. And children, later admired and Dattada admired his discipline and his efficiency. He was a very efficient man, and Dattada admired this. And children, at that time no cell phone was there, no telephone must have been there, but children, they used to talk, they used to send mail to each other, they used to send letter to each other. Okay. And their correspondence, what is the meaning of correspondence? Exchanging letters. Never mentioned the project Light Brigade, although once in a while Sir John would hint at its progress in a subtle manner that Dattada would understand. Okay. So now children, when they were corresponding with each other, they have never discussed about the project Light Brigade. It was just a friendly, what to say, they were very friendly with each other. So it was just a simple, it was a friendly chat. They never used to discover children discuss the project Light Brigade. Yes, but children sometimes the hint was given by Mr. John that it is in progress in subtle manner. Okay, and the Tada would understand. So with this, children, I end my video, and the last page of the chapter will be told in the next video. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.